Hi everyone, we are going to start with you lesson number 25. We are going to cover today lots of parts, so let's get started. As usual, we start with the vocabulary part. The word completely we have already come across with you. It means butunlay. For example, I'm completely in love with this language. It's very much beautiful language. I'm completely in love. Completely it means butunlay or tolak. Next word is cloudy. It means brutally. For example, the weather outside is cloudy, so I will take the umbrella with myself. Next, discovery. This is kashfiyot. So whenever you find something new, whenever you discover something, it's called discovery. Discovery, for example, let's say, for instance, the discovery of America was one of the most important discoveries in the history of humankind. So that, this is boyok. Next word is east. This is shark. For example, Japan is situated in the east. Explode, portlamoq, portlash. Float, suzub yuruvchi. Next, flame, olov. Firework, salute. During the New Year holiday, we have a lot of fireworks. Gunpowder, this is porog. Heat, issiqlik yoki isitmoq. If it is a verb, invent, ixtiro. Invention, this is kashfiyot. So whenever you create something with your hand. So discovery, it is find something, but invention, this is you create something with your hands, alright, with your mind. Let's say the phone was one of the most important inventions. It means a human created this phone or invented. Ink, this is your. I don't have enough ink in my pen, that's why I bought another pen. Mixture, aralash. North, shimol. Needle, igna. Sailor, dengizchi. This is the person who sails, so traveler, synonym of it. Show, demonstrate, display, all of them are synonyms and they mean ko'rsatmoq. For example, I'm showing you the words, I'm demonstrating you the words, or I'm displaying you the words. Next, south, janub, special, maxsus. Shape, shakil. West, gharb, and rab, this is oramoq. So this is all of our new vocabulary which we are going to come across during the reading part. So in the reading part we are going to talk about Chinese inventions that we use on a daily basis or that we use every day. So let's get started. Paper. So Chinese invented paper about 2000 years ago. They made it from different plants. So first paper was made from plants in Chinese history. At first, they used it for wrapping things, then they used it for writing and drawing on. This picture shows leaves and flowers. As you can see in this picture, this is paper, and it's here we can see some leaves and flowers. Paper was most useful for books. For hundreds of years, people wrote books. They used pens and ink, and it took a long time. Then one of the most important inventions appeared. So they used ink and pen by themselves and they wrote everything on their own. Then another invention came. This is printing. Chinese people first printed on clothes more than 2000 years ago. They cut a pattern on a block of wood. They put dye on a wood block. Then they pressed the block onto the cloth. Pressed, it means boshlab. So they pressed the block onto the cloth. The block printed the pattern. So as you can see, first they cut, then they using some ink or dye, they colored it, and then they pressed on the cloth so that it will be printed on it. They could use the block again and again. Sometimes the cloth was silk. The Chinese invented silk too. So this is piece of a beautiful curtain. Later, the Chinese printed words on paper. They cut words on the wood block. This was difficult work. They put ink on the block, then they pressed the paper onto it. The wood block printed the words onto the paper. So you see, these are Chinese symbols. So they printed not only pictures or flowers or leaves, but also they printed some words too. These printers printed one page at a time, but they could print with the block many times. They could make many copies of each book. More people could have books. The oldest printed book in the world is from China. It is more than 1,100 years old. So this is very much recyclable and reusable block. So you cannot so you don't use it just once and then throw it away. So people in the past, they really cared about the environment, and they could use one block many times. Now, next invention is the compass. A long time ago, sailors used the stars at night. They could find north, south, east, and west. When it was cloudy, they could not see the stars, and sometimes they lost their ways. The Chinese made a discovery. A special stone made a metal needle, so you see it's a metal needle, point to north. They floated the needle in a bowl of water and it pointed to north. You see, so as you can see, there is a needle and it floats on a bowl of water, and it points to the north. It worked at sea when it was cloudy and completely dark. It worked on land in the daytime too. People could find north, and then they could follow a map. They could find their way to new places. So it's a very much beneficial invention for the sailors. The next one is a gunpowder. Chinese scientists discovered gunpowder 1,100 years ago. First, they found a kind of salt. It burned with a purple flame. They mixed it with other salts. When they put the mixture in a metal box and heated it, the box exploded. Heat kızıtmak. So when they put the mixture box in a metal box and heated it, the box exploded. Heat, it means smoke explodes. So the box exploded, it means коробка portlagan edi. It was a very powerful mixture. Powerful, it means strong, if you remember. They used the gunpowder to make fireworks. Chinese people still make fireworks. They are the best in the world. If you go to a firework display, you will see Chinese fireworks. They explode in the sky in different shapes and colors. So this is the end of our reading part. We have talked about various inventions which are still used nowadays as well. So now please pause the video and try to retell what you remember. If you don't remember many things, please reread again by yourself or re-listen again. Alright, good job. Now we are moving to the question part. Please do this by yourself first, and then we are going to check together. So let's check our answers. The first one is, at first the Chinese used paper for wrapping. Paper was most useful for books. Chinese people sometimes printed on silk cloth. Fourth, later the Chinese printed words on paper. Fifth, they could make many copies of each book. Sixth, a long time ago sailors used the stars. Seventh, a special stone made a metal needle point to north. And the last one, Chinese people still make fireworks. So this is the end of our first exercise. Now we are moving to the second exercise, and where we have to answer to these questions. Which invention do you use the most often? So personally, I use paper the most often because I needed to write my notes or to read the books as well. So this is, I think, the most used invention by myself. So which invention do you use the most? Personally, I use the most paper because this is one of the most useful inventions, and I can use it to take notes or I can use it to draw as well. So second, which invention is the most useful and why? I believe the most useful one is printing, because without printing we could not read the books. But of course without paper we could also not read any books. So I believe two inventions are the most useful. These are printing and paper. The third one, which invention do you think is the least useful and why? I believe the least useful invention is the gunpowder, because personally I have never used it and I don't think that I will use it in the nearest future. What do you think? So what's your opinion to these three questions? Please pause the video and answer to all these three questions. Well done, and we are moving to the last exercise of the reading part. So in the last exercise we have to look at the pictures and complete the list and write the letters. For example, paper, and this is J. So for example, first the list of inventions. So first we have to complete the list of inventions. Second, the list the things the Chinese used for their inventions. For example, paper, this is J, and what they used is plants, this is C. Alright, and please do other words as well in the same way, and then we will check together. Alright, let's check our answers. Paper, J, and things that was used, this is plants, this is C. Next, to create gunpowder, so next invention is a gunpowder, and to create it, people used G. This is salt. Next word is silk. This is B, and to create silk, people use silkworm. This is I. Next word is a compass. This is picture number E, and people used H. This is needle. And the last one is printing. This is picture number F, and to do it, people used a wood block. This is picture number T. So this is the end of our reading part. Now we are moving to the speaking. We are still continue with the golden mask of Chappy Chappy. So this is part number 3, and in the Chinese room. So let's read together. Which room is this? It's the Chinese room, I think. Oh, look at these pretty fans and the paper umbrellas. I like those. We haven't got time to look at these paper umbrellas. We are trying to catch a thief, remember? Thief, this is the person who steals something. This is oğru. Well, he isn't here. No, I can't see him anywhere. Shall we look in another room? Yes, let's. Can't we look at these beautiful things? These clothes are silk. How wonderful. Come on, you too. Yes, hurry up. Hurry up, it means socially. We will never find him. We should try, Lulu. So they are still looking for this person who stole the golden mask of Chappy Chappy. If he's still in the museum, we will catch him. And if we catch him, we will find the golden mask. So they are still searching for this person, and they are now in the Chinese room, but they cannot look for all these beautiful things because they have to hurry up. Please now pause the video and retell this little conversation. Well done. We move on. So we are going to talk about the grammar part. Hozir biz siz bilan grammatika bosqichiga o'tamiz va bu conditional. Ingliz tilida 3 ta conditional bor va 0 conditional. So overall there are 4 conditionals. And we are going to talk about the first conditional, which describes the situation which is possible to happen. There is a chance that this situation or action will happen in the future, or something is likely to happen. Nimadir kelajakda bo'lishi mumkin. So imkoniyat bo'lishiga bor. And so mumkin kelajak. So if we translate in Uzbek, mumkin kelajak biror narsa sodir bo'lishi mumkin. Bu harakat kelajakda sodir bo'lishi ehtimoli bor. So all of them mean the same thing. That there is a chance that this situation will happen in the future. For example, if you watch this video, you will understand first conditional. There is a chance that after watching this video, you will understand what is first conditional. Bu videoni ko'rib bo'lgach, siz birinchi conditional nimaligini tushunib olasiz. Ehtimoli bormi? Bor. That's why we use first conditional. And if you remember, we have already talked with you after if, when, as, unless, until, and other words, we never use future simple will. We will just use present simple. So it was, so when we talked about this last time, it was a first step into conditionals, or introduction into conditionals. Now this is conditionals itself. So what is the formula? Every conditional has its own formula, and the formula of first conditional is if plus present simple, future simple. Or you also can say future simple plus if plus present simple. If you change the position, you will not change the meaning. The meaning will be still the same. For example, if I study hard, I will get into a prestigious university on a scholarship basis. Scholarship basis, it means grantga kirib olaman. So if you change the position of these two parts, I will get into a prestigious university on scholarship basis if I study hard. The meaning doesn't change. The meaning is still the same, alright? Negative also can be used, and the negative is also the same. If plus subject plus do or does not, plus subject will not, plus verb. So it can be a little bit different as well. So we can also use conditionals in the negative, question forms, and they are still the same. If it is negative, we will use don't or doesn't. If it is question, we put it at the beginning. So simple formulas that we have already covered with you. For example, negative form sentence is, if he doesn't do his homework on time, he will fail his exam. And the question form, will you go for a walk with me if it stops raining? Will he come to my birthday party if she doesn't come? So you see, we only use after if present simple, not future, even if the meaning is in the future. Ko'rib turganingizdek, ma'nosi kelajakda bo'lsa ham, baribir ham biz present simple ni ishlatamiz. Because this is the rule that after if we never use future. Chunki bu qoida. Chunki qoida bo'yicha ifdan keyin hech qachon future simple will ni ishlata olmaymiz. Alright, please now make one positive sentence, one negative sentence, and one question sentence. But as a homework, please make 10 positive, 10 question, 10 negative sentences so that you will remember and you will clearly understand everything what we have learned today. Well done. Now we move to the listening part. Alright, so now we are going to move to the exercises part so that we will wrap up everything what we have learned today. So first let's look at the example. Will you take an umbrella tomorrow? I will take an umbrella if it is rainy. So you see, you can also use present continuous if you want, or you can use present simple, but never use future simple. So let's do exercise number 2. We have to complete the sentences and write the letters. So the first sentence I will do by myself. Others, please stop the video and do by yourself, and then we are going to check together. If the weather is fine, not will be fine. Yes, if the weather is fine. So the first one is E, and others do on your own. So this is the end of 25th lesson. We have covered today reading, speaking, and grammar as well. I think it was quite useful lesson. So keep doing your homework. Goodbye.